Hey, Trainer Weeks here with this week's news roundup. Right now, we have the Battle Showdown event, the rather dramatically named event where we have lots of fighting type Pokemon spawning. So we have boosted Machop, boosted Mankey, boosted Meditite, and boosted Makuhita, which I always try to call Hariyama, but it's not. But you might get Hariyama as well, because that is, of course, the evolution. More importantly, Shiny Mankey and Shiny Machop are now out. Meditite and Makuhita shinies are already out, so lots of chances to get new shinies. And I don't have 3 of those, so I gotta get out there and check my spawns. This runs until 12th of March, 1 PM Pacific time, which will no longer be 9 PM GMT. It's actually 8 PM GMT for the next 2 weeks because North America changes its daylight hours this Sunday. So for the next 2 weeks, we are going to be an hour different from American times because the rest of the world doesn't change for another 2 weeks. Last Sunday in March is when the rest of us have our summertime changes. If you're in somewhere near the equator, you don't actually have time zone changes, so none of this applies, except that American times will also be slightly different for you. So just be aware of that when you're converting Niantic's time zones for the next couple of weeks. For the Battle Showdown event, on top of the boosted spawns, we also have double catch, battle, and raid stardust. So that's nice. Get your star pieces out if you have them. You also get double gym XP, which is different from normal XP. You know how when you go to a gym in Spain, you get a gym badge, and then if you stay on the gym or do actions on the gym, your gym badge levels up to gold? That XP is doubled, so that will go faster. And finally, you get 5 rewards per day instead of 3 for doing PvP trainer battles, and 3 rewards per day instead of 1 for doing gym leader battles. So yay, more free stuff. And you can get rare candy, you can get stardust. Allegedly you can get Sinnoh stones from these battles, I think. I know you used to be able to, but I haven't seen one for weeks. So either way, rare candy is great. Next week we have what Niantic have described as a new experimental event starting. Wednesday 13th March from noon to 1 PM your local time will be Legendary Lunch Hour, as they're calling it. So what's going to happen, as they've explained it to Dronfest from the Silph Road community and various other people, between noon and 1 PM, every gym will have a raid spawn. The raid egg timers will pop up and last for 10 minutes, and then the raid boss itself will be available for an hour. So those of you who work 9 to 5 and haven't been able to do daytime raids, this means that we have more predictability and it should be easier to plan raids during your lunch hour. I don't know whether it's going to be like the special raid days where it all pops up at once, or whether it will just be more battles during that hour. So maybe you'll get a 10-minute egg at exactly noon, maybe you'll get another 10-minute egg at 12:30, and that way possibly people who have lunch from 1 o'clock instead of 12 o'clock also get to participate. It's an experiment, so we'll find out on Wednesday, so hopefully that will go well. They haven't said specifically how often it'll be, but the wording on their website announcement is, "We hope to make this an event you can enjoy every week." So looks like it might be 1 day a week. Don't know if it'll always be Wednesday, don't know if it'll rotate Monday through Friday, but anything that makes raids more predictable is good in my books. Also, this first one will be legendary only, so that will be Dialga. And speaking of Dialga, yes, for March, Dialga is now our tier 5 raid boss. And Dialga is a dragon and steel type Pokemon, which means it is weak to ice, fire, dragon, and ground. Ground? Ground. For some reason, I always get ground and rock slightly mixed up, but it's definitely ground. So if it happens to be sunny in your area, when you're doing a tier 5 raid battle, get your Groudons out, provided they have Earthquake. This graphic shows the other great Pokemon you can use. Plenty of Machops are available to find in spawns, so no excuse for not having a good Machamp team right now. Same goes for Makuhita and Hariyama. I've seen a few Torchic here and there, so you can also get some Blaziken, and of course there's all the other ones as well. But wait, there's more when it comes to raids. Next weekend will be a special Rayquaza weekend, for apparently no reason at all. 15th March, 1 PM Pacific time to 18th March, 1 PM Pacific time. Again, that's 8 o'clock GMT instead of 9. Rayquaza will be in raid battles. And they haven't said that Dialga won't be in raid battles, so presumably the tier 5 eggs can spawn one or the other. They have confirmed that there will not be shiny Rayquaza. So that, frankly, completely deflated the whole concept for me. Like, yeah, okay, I could do with maybe a few more Rayquaza, but I'm definitely not going to be out raiding all weekend. And that's okay, because I also have to do life things sometimes. Rayquaza, or to pronounce its name properly, Rayquaza, because the name comes from Ray and Quasar, is a dragon and flying type Pokemon, so that means it is weak to dragon, it is weak to rock, it is double weak to ice, and it is weak to psychic. So, if you have your Mewtwo's, get them out. If you got loads of Mamoswine from the recent community event, give them some ice moves and get them out. Piloswine, also ice. Jinx, you may have had already. Weavile, I don't actually have a decent Weavile, so I don't know, maybe it's just me being unlucky. And Articuno are all good Pokemon to attack Rayquaza. If you are in or around Singapore, so Southeast Asia, or you're willing to travel, Sentosa, which is basically a holiday park / island off the coast of Singapore, will be hosting Southeast Asia's first Pokemon Go Safari event. And they will be getting Tropius for 4 days from the 18th to the 22nd April. More importantly, they will be getting shiny SHUCKLE. And SHUCKLE is the best Pokemon. So I really want to go, but it's also really far away. So I will have to scrape together a bunch of money, maybe. You did have to apply for the public ballot tickets, and unfortunately that round of applications is already closed. People who have applied will find out on the 11th of March, and after that will be another way to get tickets that hasn't yet been announced. So, much like a lot of the Japanese events, it may involve going to a shop somewhere in Singapore and signing up there. If you don't get a ticket, there's no point in going, because it is one of those events where you'll have to scan a QR code, like they did with GoFest. You'll have to scan a QR code to be able to see the event spawns. With most of these events, the shiny does get available worldwide. Sometimes a spawn for the featured Pokemon will be boosted everywhere, like with Wingull when that was launched. Sometimes it won't, like Psyduck and Sandshrew. So we'll see. If I do get tickets, I am willing to take the risk of flying out there and discovering that SHUCKLE is actually everywhere. Because I grew up in Singapore and it's basically my hometown, even though I left ages ago. I do like to go back and visit, so maybe I'll go. It'd be nice to get some sun. And finally, Niantic have done a massive update to their map information in the background. So if you open up the game, you won't see any visual difference in the map, but you might see that spawns have changed, because part of the way spawns work is that they take the geographic map data from a system called OpenStreetMap, and that system is crowdsourced. So you might see, like if you had loads of spawns in your house before, you might not see any, or you might have new spawns in your house. I apparently do not have any, I've been checking all day. But nests may have changed, new nests might have happened. The Mega Nest in Long Island has apparently been fixed, so people in Long Island can now see Pokemon that aren't Nest, which is nice for them. Sadly, the Berlin Mega Nest has not been fixed. Unfortunately for some people, particularly in Greece, the spawns have been completely destroyed because people use certain tags that Niantic have deemed to be inappropriate for spawns. I mean, that's just heartbreaking. This full community can no longer play the game. And I really hope Niantic pays attention to these posts, because it's been so long since these spawn updates from the maps. So even if they go into the map and fix the things that are blocking the spawns, which are more than likely inappropriate markers in the first place, they could be waiting up to a year before they can play again. And if it was me, I would probably cry. But basically, what I'm saying is, check your local spawns all over the world. They might have changed, and if they have, good luck! I hope they are more convenient for you. Anyway, that is it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!